Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me repairing yet another one of my mother's vintage dolls. She has broken hips and, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Watch the video. It's another hot one, so we've got another doll. It's another one from my mother's collection. She has a broken hip and she needs a good cleaning, but her hair is still in good condition. It needs to be washed and boil washed so that the hair lays down, and we gotta fix her hips. So I guess we got to heat up the leg so I can get this peg out, and then we can go ahead and get the pieces. Let me go get some hot water. Okay, so we got the hot water. Eventually I'm gonna have to clean her, but I'm gonna get these pieces apart first so that we can clean her properly. And I can potentially glue that back in. Okay, craft rag. Let's get this piece out. This, to be honest, was a little bit difficult to try getting this piece out. I used several tools and it still didn't want to come out. I've got to figure out how to get that out of there. So the way I got it is to pop it through, because I've tried multiple ways of doing this and it still doesn't want to come out. Okay, so I just got it through. I gotta fold the plastic back up and over this hip joint very gently. Okie dokie. So there's that. Put those back in there so it can reform. I have the trash right here. What I'd do is put a little bit of 10-minute epoxy in there and then put some tape over it, flip it over so it can harden. It's got to be a little quick. Or a little bit there. Keep it out of the joint. Put some tape over the opening. Flip it over. Sure it stays out of the hip joint. Silicone down for the wrist, just so it's not going to waste. Put it right there for a few minutes, and then come back when it's completely hardened. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. I can be able to peel this off. And now that's solid. Gotta get this stuff off. It's still a little squishy in some areas, so thin areas you can just scrape off with your fingernail. Again, I still need to clean her. I just want to get her all sanded and everything before I clean her. So this, you can see how soft it is still. So it should go for another little bit of time, but it's good enough for our purposes right now. So these pieces I no longer need. And I can put that there. And Then we can go ahead and get to sanding. Hip joint sanded. This side, I might have to rough it up after I clean her. But now we can go ahead and get her all washed up. And like you've seen me do, just using a magic eraser to clean off all the gunk. So we'll be right back. So I got her all cleaned up. Gotta let her dry. I have a sneaking suspicion that this was a Malibu Barbie body at some point, because when I washed her, she went a little less tan, but it is what it is. C'est la vie, c'est la guerre. So I think we're just gonna let her dry for a little bit, because I don't want the super glue acting with the water. So we'll just let her dry, and then we'll come back. With this heat, it should dry really quickly. She should be dry enough to be able to glue these hip joints on. Again, I have one, and find another one, two. So I have to sand them down first before I can super glue them on. So, sand them down. You want to get it as thin as possible so that it has enough adhesion surface, but also thin enough to where it's not going to mess with the whole mechanism. I'll go ahead and do the other one and be right back. And this will go ahead and soften the plastic. We'll go ahead and glue on her legs. Or not her legs, her joints. Want to be somewhat in the center. Center as we can. Put a little bit more on than that's supposed to. So then we just let the glue cure, and then we can pop the legs on and put her head on. So it's been a few minutes. Super glue should be hardened by now. Let's go ahead and dry off one leg. And moment of truth. Hold on. Hold please. Let me get the other leg. Let's see if I can just line them both up at the same time. There we go. Her hips are on. Now, just gotta get her head on. Okay, also a minor setback. Her neck split. So, that is concerning. So we'll put this off to the side for right now. I guess we'll just let this dry. And we'll do the super glue trick with her head as well. Okay, so as you see here, her head split. So what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze this to open up that crack. Put a little super glue onto another surface. And use a pin get down into that crack. hitting the camera, so hold on. Raise it up a little bit more. So you want to get the super glue down into the very crack. Hold it together. Won't get rid of the crack, and you will always still see it, but it'll be less noticeable. So let that dry. See, it's not as noticeable, but it's still there. So that's what happens with old vinyl. It does crack. Okay, so I'm really hoping this works, but I do have to warm up her head again to get it on top to reduce the amount of stress on this joint. So I get some warm water again, wrap her in, and let her officially soak for a good minute. Get all the excess water out of her head. Hopefully this will work. Okay, now before her hair cools. Okay, so I'm gonna let her dry for a little bit. Then we can go ahead and shoot the reveal. Okay, a little mishap. Her neck split. So I guess it's back to the drawing board. I do have some vinyl glue, but I need to clean this up first with some acetone, and then I can try it again. I'm going to try some vinyl cement. This is the same stuff that they use for repairing swimming pools and stuff like that. Really hope it's not all dried out because the heat. Okay, it's not. So, using a toothpick. Some of that on the inside. Her vinyl feels like super dried out. There's a way to moisturize plastic. There's another crack forming right there. So we'll go ahead and let this sit and pray that it actually works. Okay, let's try this again. Boiling hot water this time. Soften the head. Go down. That's a long enough time. Let's see. Hold together. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot. That's what I mean by boiling water. Work, don't split. Ow. And the glue didn't hold. And she had been drying for a good 3 days. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Again, we're back. Getting some boiling hot water. straight from the kettle. And we got a sandwich Ziploc bag. I'll go ahead and put her head in there. Get out as much of the air as I can. Make sure it's sealed. And we're going to drop that into the boiling hot water with something to weigh it down. What to weigh it down? Can I use her feet? Let's use her feet. And we'll let her sit there for a little bit so that I can pop her head back on. So that actually worked. I got it on there. The vinyl is still holding. So we're not going to tell my husband that he was right for once. But yeah, it worked. So now we just got to get her dressed up and I guess do the reveal. So I know some things are unforeseeable accidents with her neck splitting. I tried my very best to repair that. It's still there, still visible, but maybe later on down the line I can find an actual glue that will secure it better. But that's what happens when things get old. Things tend to break down. But I do hope this video was educational for somebody out there and entertaining for the rest of y'all. So if you want to see more videos of me repairing dolls and or crafts, remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell button for when I do post, because I do potentially have some life-changing events coming up in the future, but I can't say much about it until it's a definite. So until then, we'll see you in the next video. Tschüssi!